We about to build, brothers. What's good with y'all? We about to build, brothers. What's good with y'all? Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm streaming on IG. I'm streaming on Facebook, streaming live from the confines of my mind. I got something to talk to y'all about. I'm gonna start out with saying that a hit dog barks. Missed opportunities are all around us, guys. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm seeing a lot of situations right now where people are complaining, people are confused, people are blaming, right? Me and my brothers always get on the Be a Life podcast and talk about accountability. We talk about taking control of your life. We talk about being intentional. We talk about basically owning your situation and understanding that everything that happens to you, you play the active role in that, and that helps aid us in our mental health because we get to be the driver, right? Be the driver in your life, not taking the back seat and watching life take you places, but rather being intentional about how you're going about things in your life, right? As I think about that, I want to speak to missed opportunities because when you talk about, professions, when you talk about passions, when you talk about purposes, it's very important, guys, to be thinking about what do you love, right? Like you have to think about what's driving your real love, your love energy, right? Your divine, pure heart and soul, and what's taking you where you want to go, and what's really reaching people, and what kind of magnetic field you're putting out of your body, right? As regards to like the things that you take into your mind, right? The people that you let inhabit your space, the circles that you allow yourselves to be in, the networks that you continue to build. All of these things are cultivating and they're giving you opportunities, right? Negative opportunities and positive opportunities. When you are in a situation and you have completed tasks that move sequentially, because we're always moving down a linear line, right? It's everything in life is linear, it's mathematical, it can be added up. When you add up your day and you reflect at the end of your day, you have to be able to say, did I take the best advantage of my opportunities that I had, or did I miss opportunities, and reevaluate, right? Stop complaining to people about what people are not doing for you. Stop complaining to people about the way the federal keeps hiking rates, right? Stop complaining to people about your student loans. Stop complaining to people about your girlfriend and your boyfriend. Stop complaining to people because you're missing opportunities. You're leaving points on the board, right? You're leaving points on the board because you're not being intentional and you're not paying attention to what you have right now. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. When we walk into a space right now, at this time, it's 9:17 p.m. right now. What you're doing is you tapped into a higher frequency. You tapped into something where you're trying to learn and grow and get something to yourself, which is amazing. Shout out to you. You could be doing anything else, but what you're doing is you bringing atoms together, right? You bringing atoms together. You bringing atoms of focused, intentional energy to say that, hey, this brother right here is speaking on something that maybe I'm interested in. Missed opportunities. I want to know what's he got to say about that. You are now telling yourself subconsciously that I want to take advantage of my life and grow. I want to make sure that my opportunities are going to be maximized in my life, because I don't know if the brother know he talking about it or not, but I do want to know what is it that I'm missing, right? You have to make sure that everything around you says K.Sloan is going to be the best K.Sloan he could be every single day, every single moment, right? Every single moment. I'm not going to sit here and watch the scoreboard all day. I'm going to look at time. Time is very important because it doesn't care about what you feel like that day. Time doesn't care about what you're going through. time is just time. It just exists, right? And really, it's not even real. It's a man-made construct, but it's a way that we measure. It's a measuring stick. When you get into the scope of 4 hours, right? Are you taking 4 hours to meditate? Are you taking 4 hours to read books? Are you taking 4 hours to have meaningful conversations? Guys, we can work our way out of this. The slump you in, you can work your way out of it. You can love your way out of it. You can speak your way out of it. You can work out. You can read. You can hug somebody. You can give compliments. You can do those things and find your way out of that dark place, right? But people tend to think that we are slaves to what's happening in our life, and I'm done with listening to it. Don't talk to me about it. Don't walk around me moping, right? Because I take advantage of my opportunities. So when I come in an opportunity with somebody that's not necessarily projecting that energy that I want to have within my own spirit and my magnetic field that sits about 6 feet outside of my body, every time I walk out into the space of other humans, if I'm not being intentional in keeping you out of my zone, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attract you into my zone. And the law of attraction says that what I pick up, I become, right? So we don't want to become negative things, so we don't associate with negative things. Be intentional, opportunity. Okay, so doubling back now, let's talk about wishing versus working with the opportunities, right? What are you working for, right? Are you working for money or are you working for purpose? Are you working for community or are you working for self? Because that immediately caps or it extends your reach, right? It extends what you do. Why do we keep sitting here and having the same conversations, guys? I have not been talking to y'all. I ain't been on this. And the reason why is because 90% of communication is nonverbal. Only 10% of communication is what you say. So why would I be sitting here talking to y'all about what I'm going to do, what I've done, no, I'm going to show you. That's why branding is so important in marketing, is because what branding does is it's an aura, right? You guys walk into this world with an aura. When you drink water, when you drink a gallon of water a day, your aura is different. When you eat fruits and vegetables, your aura is different. When you take lion's mane, the ashwagandha, and multivitamins, and you read books, like I said before, and you do things for yourself, your aura is different. When you meditate for real, your aura is different. That's how you don't miss opportunities, because you've created clarity within your mind, within your spirit, within your soul, right? So when you're unclear, then you clutter your space, right? You clutter your space with stuff. You clutter your space with negativity. You clutter your space with hate. You clutter your space with trash, entertainment, vices. When you clutter your space, then now you have literally made it to where there's no room for opportunity to come in there, and you couldn't see it. It showed up and smacked you in your mouth, right? But when you clear your space and you detox yourself and you let everything go and you actually get valuable rest, which I need to work on. But when you actually get valuable rest at night and you get REM sleep and you do these things, guys, you create clarity, and clarity makes concise moves. Clarity aids concise movement. It aids direct behavior. It aids a message that can be able to go from point A to point B without resistance, because that's the game. The game we play, y'all, in relationships, in work, in all aspects of life, is clarity. It's peace. It's tranquility. It's love. It's direct, and it's an aura, right? So it expands because it has no resistance. So no matter how successful you are, if you're consistently building resistance, then you're consistently stifling yourself, right? You got to find ways to take away the resistance, and that's what's stopping your opportunities. You're where you are stuck because you keep moving in a circle. But to expand your opportunities, you have to be able to engulf the body and embody the aura of what it is that you want to become. You got to live in that, right? You got to dream in that. You got to speak in that, and you have to be able to get away from people, right? Because if you truly a light, the only way a light can shine is in that darkness, right? You got to be in the dark to shine. So you have to own the darkness of being alone. You got to be in that and say, in this point where I'm by myself, I can cultivate my life, right? Now, let's say you too dark at this time to where you don't have enough light to give to anybody. Your cup is empty. It's run, it once ran over, but now it's empty. You need to be filled. Then go find the light. Go seek it out. Your peers, your family members, your friends, right? Some of them people, they exhibit the light, y'all. When you see the light and you don't have it in you, go gravitate towards it, because if you, yeah. What's up, cuzzo? If you stay close enough to the light, then it's gonna rub off on you. Whatever you closest to, you're gonna bond to. And as you bond to it, then it becomes you, right? So the goal is to become exactly who we want to be in its totality, right? In everything that we are, right? Being intentional, being accountable, right? Because I'm tired myself, right, of not taking the accountability in every single aspect of my life as it pertains to my intentionality and my goals, right? If it's my goal, it's my goal. I don't have to tell y'all about it. If it's specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely, I don't gotta talk to nobody about it but myself, because who's gonna have to deal with it if it don't happen? Me. Same for you. That's it. Nobody else gotta deal with that but you. You feel me, cuzzo? Nobody else got to deal with that but you. So at the end of the day, when your mama tell you, or when your friend tell you, oh man, you probably shouldn't be doing that because people think this and that about people that do this. That's fine. You have never been where I've been in my mind. I'm gonna say that again. You have never been where I've been in my mind. The place that I've created in my mind is not reality. You feel me? The place the place in your mind is not reality. It's actually created by you. And the fact that you created it yourself makes it so much more valuable when you bring it out for everybody else. So now everybody else can be a part of this experience, and they can be able to grow within themselves, because when people see you in your aura and in your space of love and caring and faith, then it actually takes them to another level. And they say, man, I feel like I can live off that energy as well. And now you awaken that light within your surroundings, right? And as you continue to do that, then guess what happens? Everything around you gets brighter. Everything around you gets brighter. Now, as everything around you gets brighter, you got to understand something else. The brightest environment is going to have all these stars, right? It's like all these people, let's relate them to stars. You got all these stars, but you're gonna attract light bulbs. Light bulbs be them haters. That's that artificial light, right? That's that light that ain't real. It can't hold space with stars. You feel me? It's so small, and it gets uncomfortable. It's like, yo, but light bulbs are just light bulbs. They fizzle out and they got to be replaced. But the real light can only be cultivated by your diet, by your faith base, by your network, by the things that are true and that are real to you, right? It's all perspective, and your perspective is always going to be your reality. So then that goes into why we should never, ever, ever be watching the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? We should never be counting the points that we putting up on the board. You know, I'm not trying to tell people not to go make money. I'm not trying to tell people not to go get them titles. Go do what you got to do to level up. But that's not going to give you real happiness. You can ask anybody that's making six figures and they holding down a gig. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to be what takes you, to that level of creation that's going to create a brand new life for yourself. That's going to create a new path for your family. That's just a title. And it's a means to an end, but you have to see what it's for. You got to use it as a tool. It has to be a tool. Everything in your life is a manipulative. Every single thing is a manipulative. Pencils, like I got this mouse right here. I got my phone right here. I'm using it as a tool. I'm using my computer. All of these things are tools to be able to furthermore spread our light. So let's say today we make a decision, right? We make a decision to no longer miss opportunities, right? We say, look, today is all I got. Present moment is all I got. We're no longer looking in the past because the past could create depression. And we're no longer looking too far in the future because that could create anxiety, right? Let's say we're going to live right here in the present moment. That at that point, you are the most powerful person on the planet Earth. I'm telling you why. Because you are sitting in your own space where you're creating your own stuff through your own lens, and you saying, oh, when I walk out this door, I'm going to go be the best baker that I could possibly be, because I know that when I bake this bread and I create this bread and I put it out to the people are going to eat it and feel satisfied. And when they're satisfied, they'll be better community members. They'll be better mothers. They'll be better fathers. When you see stuff like that in your realm of whatever your space is, right? The master of you, you feel me? The master of you, when you master that and you really get into your bag, right? You can't be stopped. That's a fact. I stand on that. You cannot be stopped, people. You cannot be stopped once you step into your greatness, right? Because I don't know what your spiritual belief is. I'm not here to preach to nobody and say that you got to be, on the same team that I'm on, but I'm on God's team. And being on God's team, I'm a son of God. And with that being said, everything great is within me. I would never look up to something I can't become. I can become God, even if for a temporary moment, because I am human. But at the end of the day, this human experience is built with struggle, right? And that struggle, you got to step into it and say, this struggle is mine. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? To own your struggle and see the beauty in your struggle, right? The beauty in your struggle. Love yours. Love your everything. Love your struggle. Love your successes. Love your everything. Because as you continue to love more, you cultivate love and you build on love. And love is a duty, first and foremost. And when I say love is a duty, that means you don't have an option, right? When you love something or you love somebody, you don't have an option on whether or not you're going to show love to that person. You're going to show love to that person, however that looks, which is why being nice isn't always love. That's why commercial love, the way they sell it to you, it's not Valentine's Day. It's not getting, rings, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to get presents and all that stuff, or buying chocolates and teddy bears. That's not love. Love is a sacrifice, a consistent sacrifice. Love yourself and sacrifice for yourself. Tell yourself you're not eating on Thursday because you fasting, because you want to find out who you really are. You want to strip yourself of all the human desires, all man's desires. Say that to yourself, though. If you can't say that for yourself, then don't do it. If you can't tell yourself no for the fact that you love yourself, then you're not ready to do that thing, whatever that is you're trying to do. You're not ready to be with that person yet. You can't sacrifice, infidelity. You know what I'm saying? You can't sacrifice, money for, for the things or the goals you have. Then just stay back and hold space. Hold space, because your time's coming, right? But you have to learn more about yourself. Once man masters self, the world is his. The world is hers. We don't need outside approval. And we have to be okay with making people uncomfortable. Because the only people that really make change in this planet anyway is disruptors. That's going through history. There's never been somebody that's been a go along, get along that's moved any needles. You know what I'm saying? That's not how this world works. The way this world works is disruptors pull up with a brand new idea. They shake the paradigm. They break all of the chains of structure, because structure is good. Let me not, I'm not discrediting structure. Structure is good. Traditionalism is good. And the reason why it's good is because it actually has built things, right? It has things on that have foundation, right? They've proven to work, best practices. But the thing about best practices is they don't recognize the individual. And when you don't recognize the individual, which is yourself, the most powerful person in a structure, then you succumb to the just lack of originality, the lack of passion. You just going through the flow. You know what I'm saying? You're going with the motion. You just riding. But you are the flow, my friends. You are the flow. You are the aura. You are the brand. You are the brand. You are the most powerful person that's ever graced this planet, because it's you. There will never be another you. There could never be another you, right? It's art. All of us are artists. All of us are architects. We could all create things at the drop of a dime if we really concentrate our energy on the creation of who we are and being intentional about that, and then presenting that to the world, right? Presenting that to the world, because the world needs that. The world does not need the artificial version of you, right? The world does not need, you out here trying to be the next man or the next woman. The world doesn't need you with all that makeup on your face. I mean, if you want to wear it because of your expression, then that's great. And that's your expression of you. But it doesn't need you to be that way, right? The world doesn't need you to be, you know, clean cut, and to be standing at attention at all times and making sure that you say the right things and you're politically correct and you are speaking with a proper vernacular. No, the world doesn't need that, bro. I come in front of contact of thousands of kids all the time, and they respect me, and I reach them because I'm authentically myself, right? You have to be authentically yourself. I tell every young person I come into contact with that your imperfections are what make you great. So you got to find a way to finesse your imperfections in a way that creates art, because art is just a bunch of pixels, right? When you look at it, the digital art is just a bunch of pixels. You look at it real close, it look messed up. You're like, what is this? But when you back away and you see the masterpiece, and that's what we are. We're masterpieces, but we up close right now. You in the right now. You in it right now. You feel me? You in it. But when you have that bird's eye view and you see the forest and not just the trees, then you see how beautiful it is in the Amazon. You feel what I'm saying? You see how beautiful it is when you're looking at the totality of an experience. Like, you have to continually visit the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is the way and the light. So right now does not matter, right? It does to the task that leads you to the goal that you're going to, but you have to stay out here. You have to stay intentional so that when you mess up, you step up. And when you mess up, you step up. And you mess up, you step up. And then look how beautiful it looks after you get done. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. When you get done messing up and fixing and messing up and fixing, Picasso, Basquiat, Van Gogh, you feel what I'm saying? That's when you got the most beautiful pieces, is when you see the totality of it and it just didn't stop. Because if you just quit right there, then yeah, it's going to look ugly. It's going to look like, what was you trying to do? But if you continue that vision and let it play itself all the way out, the results will be phenomenal. And this is mainly because you're phenomenal, because the fact that you even alive and able to do what you do is phenomenal, right? It's phenomenal. You're a phenom. You are a phenom, literally. Out of all of those millions of sperm cells, you were the one that made it to the egg. And then the egg ovulated, and then you were created within the womb of your mother, and then now you came out this beautiful creation, a miracle, right? You're a miracle. We always got to see life like that. Every single day, we got to see life like that. And the way that you continue to see life like that is by evaluating your leaders. I know you probably weren't expecting me to say that, but evaluate who you see as impactful in your life. Evaluate who you see as, a friend, right? Evaluate, family, right? Evaluate your mindset. Constantly reevaluate and reflect on, are these things aligned with the vision in my mind? Are these things aligned with the vision in my mind? If it's not aligned with the vision in my mind, do I love myself enough to sacrifice all of the things and trim all of the fat that is inconsistent with where I say I want to go? Because if I don't, the fact that we live in a world that goes from 12 to 12 on a chronological clock, you're going to miss opportunities. And you won't get them back. Yeah, they may run on a carousel, but the fact that you got the opportunity later will make it a little less impactful than it could have been if you got it earlier, right? Let's learn quicker. Let's mess up quicker. Let's get in the wrong relationships quicker. Let's date. We can date. That's cool. We can get down. I get to know you, because I want to get to know people, right? I want to learn people. I want to know what I don't like. I want to know what I do like. I got to learn that so that when I meet my queen, I can be able to take care of her in a way that's going to be in a totally true version of myself, right? Because I understand what I do and don't like. Like when I get into this, when I get into a position where I am making the type of impact where I really want to make, I'm so in my own skin that I'm not worried about what people think about what I create, about the service I give. I'm not thinking about that because I know that I've done the inner work. I've done the shadow work. I know the darkest parts of myself. I know my vices, and I know how to work with them. I know how to work through them. And I'm not going to run from any part of myself, right? I'm going to stand in my own truth at all times. Like a real man should, like a real woman should. You feel me? That's how you're supposed to do it. The biggest problems we got in this world is people's egos, man. That's the biggest problems we have in this world is ego-driven humans. People that can't get over the protective shield that they built around their fragile psyches. You talk about people all day long because you're uncomfortable with yourself. You don't like your relationship with your children, so you talk about other people and how they parent their kids. Period. You feel uncomfortable around a certain demographic of people, so you project that they're being dishonest and they may be lying, but in reality, it's the fact that you being dishonest from the jump. Any negative qualities that you really are portraying, if you really evaluate yourself, is deep rooted in the shield of that fragile ego that you got going. You know what I'm saying? Because that ego it get big, you know, like if you start having a lot of success, it can grow and it can get out of control, but you have to be able to tame that bad boy and you got to put it in its place because it's going to be there. And I'm not going to sit here and say that the ego doesn't serve you because it can serve you. The experiences that we have as humans can be beneficial, man. Like I got the Pharaoh on my wrist, you know what I'm saying? You can see that right there. The Pharaoh, this is the example of what I'm talking about. You got King Tut, who the Egyptians built, you know what I'm saying? They built a tomb. They built these pyramids. They built all of these artifacts and these beautiful structures to be able to show how big the ego can really be. Like how much of an ego do you have to have something built, you know what I'm saying, that represents you. But the thing is though, when the ego doesn't make you a better person, doesn't make you more effective, doesn't help you grow, then that's when it's becoming detrimental. You got to find that balance, right? Because you do want to believe in yourself. You do want to have affirming qualities about yourself. You do want to tell yourself that I'm amazing, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm driven, I'm courageous. I don't have fear driving my life. I'll stand into the face of fear and I would attack everything in my life that I really want. But what you can't do is you cannot say that I can never fall, because you will. And then when you do fall, and when you do show your faults, and when you do reveal yourself to other people, then it's not a negative thing. It's actually the most powerful thing you could ever do. That's vulnerability, right? And that's how you take advantage of opportunities. Because when you're vulnerable, that's when people are really willing to listen to you, and that's when you really making an impact. That's when you really actually hitting somebody in their spirit and their soul, because you actually let out what was in, and you let it come into fruition for the world, because not only are you painting, but somebody else is going through the exact same pain, right? Missed opportunities come from things like that. Lack of vulnerability, Superman complex. You're not Superman, bro. You're not Superman, bro. Baby, you can get all the BBLs and Botox you want, but you still that little girl inside just looking for a little bit of attention. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta really be evaluating, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why do I do these things? Why? Question yourself constantly. You are allowed to question yourself. You are allowed to put yourself on trial. You really should practice it, because when you do it to yourself, then you're not afraid when somebody else does it to you. It doesn't make you feel insecure and make you have to cower down when somebody else is questioning why you're doing what you're doing, because you understand why you're doing what you're doing, because you run yourself through the trials. Stop being afraid of criticism. The haters are the best teachers that you ever have, because they're gonna tell you the truth about yourself. Even if it's a little inflated, they're gonna give you truth. You know what I'm saying? Them little side jokes that they making at work, they got a little truth to it. You gotta listen, and you gotta grow from it. You listen to everybody. You give everybody the floor, right? That's how you maximize your opportunities. You give everybody the floor to be able to express themselves to you. Even if it's about you and it makes you uncomfortable, let that be known. Let that sink. Let that sink into your spirit, right? Why would somebody say something like that? Because I've been guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the ego we talking about. I've been guilty of it. I've been in a situation where I've sat there and I said, man, like what like they just hating. But is it true? That's what I had to ask myself. Is it true? Something you got to really break down. In the event that you can't do that, God got tests for you. DeMarcus, what are you talking about? God got tests for you. Is it true? That's something you really got to think about. So all I got to say, guys, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to these opportunities as well, you know, in closing, you know, be a light. You know, me and my brothers, we get on the podcast every Sunday, man. It's on YouTube, Be a Light Podcast. You can type in Stars and Arms LLC. You can catch all the episodes we've had. We talk about mindset development, leadership cultivation, and we talk about career ascension opportunities. But the main thing that we do is we really tap into our souls and our spirits, and we bear ourselves, man, because vulnerability is power. We might get t-shirts with that. You hear that, MrliftN'Go? We might get t-shirts with that. Vulnerability is power. It's the real strength. If you want to be a lion or a lioness, you got to be able to bear yourself in front of people honestly. Honestly. Because the facade that you put on, it's weak. It's weak. Because there's somebody that knows everything, right? And he's just waiting for you to be real. And you'll keep missing opportunities until you can be real with yourself, because you keep leaving yourself victim to the pitfalls of life because you refuse to bear the truth, which is within you. Y'all be light. Have a good night. Yeah.